Welcome aboard TED Talks Cruises, the podcast where wanderlust meets wisdom. Join our two hosts on a cruising adventure full of laughter, learning, and luxury. Ken Conan is a cruise rookie. He's wide-eyed, full of questions, and maybe still figuring out which end is aft. Ted Blank is a seasoned cruise expert who's been there, done that, and he even has a preferred deck chair. Each week, Ted and Ken dive into the world of cruising, from picking the right itinerary to insider tips, their personal insights, and behind-the-scenes secrets. Whether you're planning your first cruise or you're a platinum tier cruiser looking for fresh perspectives, TED Talks Cruises brings relatable stories, helpful advice, and plenty of good vibes. So get ready to laugh, learn, and set sail. No passport required.
And then go over to you. Hey, welcome to TED Talks Travel. My name is Ken Conan, and this is Mr. Ted Blank. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome. I am, as always, I'm pumped about our topic today. You wanna cut us in with the big reveal here?
This may come as a great surprise to our viewers and our listeners, but you and I are kind of foodies.
We are.
And so I thought we could talk a little bit about cuisine on the high seas.
I love it.
Some of the better options for cuisine and some of the different dining options that cruise lines have now, and throw in some info on river cruises as well, because we know our viewers like information on river cruises as well.
Yeah.
And you've had a chance to do some cruising, and I've had a chance to just very recently do some very different types of cruising. And so we can kind of chime in, and some folks on my team also did some cruising, so got some firsthand reports from them.
You did
as well.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward because I think you, if I remember right, you were in Alaska, and then one or two of the people from your team were in Alaska on either the same or a different ship. Is that correct?
I was actually in Alaska twice.
Oh, that's right.
This summer. Yep. So twice. I had a chance to go on the Seven Seas Grandeur,
okay,
which is owned by Regent Seven Seas Cruises.
Nice.
I had a chance to go on the Queen Elizabeth, which is owned by the Cunard line. And then Carla from my team had a chance to go on Oceania Cruises.
Oh.
And Oceania likes to bill itself as the foodie cruise line.
Oh,
so
gosh.
we got a lot of recent experience. And, you were on a river cruise this spring, and you were on a Alaska cruise last year and a river cruise last year as well. So talk about some of the food there as well.
I love it. Where would you like to start? We've got a lot.
We got a lot of territory to cover.
Yep.
Well, let's tackle the demon in the room a little bit and just kind of dispense it.
Yeah.
So the buffet.
Yep.
So I don't do buffets. So we're done with buffets. What's your perspective on buffets?
Yeah. So I was in the camp of I don't know. I always come into it like you got it. Like for me, I wanted to try it and just figure out. Because I've heard good, I've heard bad, I've heard everything in between. And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes those buffets have some things. And sometimes you can like find your little niche where you're like, that was really good. I'm going to go back for that again. I'm trying to think the buffets that I've been to. So
the river cruising you were on with AmaWaterways, they don't have buffets at all.
That's right. Yeah, I think the one that we were on that had a buffet would be the Princess Alaska cruise that we were on last year. Mm-hmm. And I think to your point, I was underwhelmed. There were some things from time to time. Like I remember a soup or two that was really good. I remember one day they had a bunch of shrimp out. That was kind of fun. I'm a seafood lover as well. I was thinking maybe I was just off, but I thought we're in Alaska. I was thinking we were going to have snow crab one day. None of that happened.
Not in the buffet.
That didn't happen in the buffet. No. Yep. I'm trying to think if there's any other things in the buffet where I was like, wow, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. And I'm being a little unfair because buffets on cruise ships have actually gotten a lot better. Yeah. And on the Regent Seven Seas cruise, for example, the buffet is kind of a mix, like a little bit of a hybrid. Yeah. Now between sort of buffet type dishes and buffet type serving and things that are served to you. So for example, in the buffet, you can order a pizza and have it delivered to your table.
Okay.
You can order your eggs in the morning. They always have some kind of a pasta dish in the afternoon. Where they'll make it for you and bring it to your table. And then you kind of go up there and have, the little appetizers or salads and the little desserts. Cunard has the same concept. They have several things where things are made to order. Okay. And you can actually order pizza as well. And it works really well. You write down what you want. You give it to the pizza chef and he gives you a pager. And when the pager goes off, you go up and pick it up. So
Nice.
it kind of takes the lines out of it. And that's always kind of been the criticism of buffets, is their lines and the quality of the food isn't as good. And I really do think that the cruise lines have gotten better with it. We were on a cruise last fall on MSC cruises.
Yeah.
And we stayed in the Yacht Club,
which
was a great experience, except they don't have the same pizza in the Yacht Club.
Really? And this is an Italian cruise line,
It's an Italian cruise line.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the pizza in the buffet, several people have told me, and I would be inclined to agree, is almost worth going on the cruise alone.
What?
The pizza is so good.
Hot
It is
take.
probably the
I love
best
it.
pizza I've ever had.
Really?
Actually, probably in my life, including pizza in Italy. So, and it's in the buffet.
Okay,
Now,
so-
the advantage to it is that it's a pretty big ship, so the buffet is
Yeah.
pretty busy, so the pizza is always hot and fresh.
Yeah.
But it is just really good.
Okay, since we're two foodies, let's break it down. What was the deal with this pizza? Was it a thin crust?
No, they
thick
had both.
crust?
They
I mean,
actually
what was
had
the
a
deal?
thick crust and a thin crust.
Okay.
I like the thin crust. That's my
I do too.
kind of pizza.
I do too.
But it was hot, crispy, fresh, really good. Toppings were good. The sauce was good. Plenty of cheese. Variety of different types of pizza.
Interesting.
The thick crust, the dough was just good.
Okay.
And sometimes, you have thick crust pizza and it kind of tastes like undercooked
Yeah.
Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
But it was good. On Cunard, I have to say the pizza was really good. It's like a wood-fired pizza.
Ooh, love that.
Princess has a pizzeria by the pool.
Yeah.
They've got really good pizza.
We did that.
as
That was
well.
good. That was
yeah.
good.
And so it's it's part of the variety
Yeah.
of things. We shouldn't totally diss the buffet.
Yeah.
There are a lot of nice options, and sometimes if you're getting off the ship for breakfast, you want a quick breakfast, you can go there, or you've had a busy day and you just want to kind of have quick dinner, go to bed. It's a great option for that as well. So I should not be quite as anti-buffet as I sometimes appear to be.
I will echo some of the pastas that they made in the buffet on the Princess were good. They were
Made to
fresh.
order for
Made
you,
to
yep.
order. Yep. Which I was like, oh, this is really good. The other thing that I would throw in there that I don't know that we mentioned, the desserts were
Pretty wide selection of
amazing.
desserts.
Yeah, it was like a whole counter.
Yeah.
And it was 3 levels, and I'm over there just like, here we go. Like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
I just tiramisu and a couple other, just fluffy good stuff.
Yeah,
Really good.
that's totally true. And Cunard, they actually call their buffet the market buffet.
I like
and
that.
so each night and each day for lunch, they have a menu. And so they have carving stations, and it's a nice variety. And one of the other things that's nice about a buffet is that usually it's got a pretty good salad bar
Right.
as part of it. So if
Right.
you're kind of trying to be a little careful with what you eat, which is a
Yeah.
little occupational hazard on cruise ships,
Yep.
you can have a nice healthy meal. Holland America line, which I think does a great job with their cuisine, they actually have a salad station. So
Oh,
you pick what
really?
you want, and the staff member mixes it together and serves it to you.
Oh, they'll,
And they do
toss it in the whole
they
deal?
toss it together. You pick the
Wow.
dressing, you pick the toppings, and
I like that.
it's kind of nice. So we shouldn't totally diss the buffet. It's not your father's buffet
Right, yeah.
anymore. Your grandfather's buffet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did find that the buffet had, I don't know, it wasn't like restaurant style seating. It was more kind of find your own table.
Yeah.
But at times we were able to find some tables that were right on the window. And again, at the time we were in Alaska, and it was like this, I know this food isn't killing it, but this view is killing it right
Yeah.
now. It was really fun.
Yeah. No, it is a good option, and
Yeah.
it fills a lot of.
Yeah.
It's an important part of the cruise experience. I
Yeah.
think if you go on a cruise and you only go to the buffet, you've missed out on a whole world
Yes.
of dining
Yes.
that we'll talk a little bit about. And river cruises typically don't have buffets.
Right.
Or if they do, it might just be like an appetizer buffet at lunch with
Yep.
everything else done as table service.
Yeah. We actually had one on our Avalon River cruise, I believe, if I remember this right, where it was a buffet in the morning, but it was really good. They had the yogurt station with some granolas and fruits. Then they had eggs made your way. Then they had a couple kind of egg baked things already. They had their bacon, their sausage, some potato of some sort, maybe a hash brown or whatever. And then they had kind of a specialty that they were doing each day too. That was really good.
Yeah.
But I really like the Avalon. Their breakfast was really,
Yeah,
really, really
yeah.
good.
I think the Europeans do breakfast a little bit better than we do.
They do,
Now,
yeah.
one thing that's interesting, the Queen Elizabeth with Cunard and the other Cunard ships are very British. And so the British like eggs. They like bacon, but their bacon is more like Canadian bacon.
Okay.
So they have both, but you just have to ask for American bacon.
Okay.
They also eat baked beans on toast for breakfast.
Hold up. Wait. Hold on.
You know, I'm
Hold on.
all
I gotta show the eye
open
roll. What? Like, are you kidding me?
I'm open to a lot of different cuisines. I like to try new things.
Did you do it?
Gotta draw the lines. So baked beans on toast, not my thing.
That wasn't gonna fly.
And in the dining room, they would have something they called the full English breakfast. And so people would order it, and it was, you know, eggs and sausage and hash browns and things like that.
Yep.
And then it would come with a tomato, a grilled tomato, and a big pile of baked beans. And you could tell the Americans who hadn't read the menu very carefully were like, what the heck is this?
What did I just get? Is this a prank?
It's a prank, but it's not.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe that explains something about the British character that they eat they eat baked beans for breakfast. But anyway, and that's part of the fun, you know, is to try some of these different foods that you normally wouldn't have at home. And, you know, a cruise is a great place to try something. And if you like it, great. If not, get something else. Very simple.
Yeah, I found we were on our river cruise. I think this was Avalon again. And one night they had, you know how they, and maybe not everybody knows, so I'll try to explain it. You chime in here. But they bring out a menu, and the menu has different kind of starters, different entrees, different desserts. And you kind of pick through things. Well, one night, oh my gosh, this menu, it was like everything was calling my name.
Yeah.
And so I told the waiter that came over, I said, these two entrees look really good. And he goes, well, let's get both for you. And so I'm like, I didn't know that was an option. But I also was like, look, I'm not like, I can't eat like
can't eat two full entrees.
And so he says, well, no problem. So he brought out two like half portions for my dinner. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. For me, I was like, is this for real right now? Like,
never happens at home, does it?
No,
you never get two entrees. No, it is, you know, the flexibility and things like that
really fun.
Make it nice. And, you know, another kind of variation on that, AmaWaterways, different river cruise lines.
Yeah,
they have what they call the chef's table.
Oh, yes.
And so the chef's table is kind of a variation on that, which is that it's a fixed menu, and it's usually 6 or 7 courses. That are all picked for you, paired with a wine. And you have this dining experience where you start out with like a little amuse-bouche, and you have an appetizer and a salad and a soup and an entree and a dessert and maybe some sorbet as a palate cleanser before the entree, and, you know, a cheese tray afterwards. So, you know, there's everything from the buffet to some very, very elevated, you know, really gourmet dining. And AmaWaterways has been invited to be part of a group called the Chaîne des Rôtisseurs.
Okay.
And the Chaîne des Rôtisseurs is a fraternity, for lack of a better words, a fraternity of top-notch restaurants, hotels, cruise lines that offer the best of the best.
Wow.
So they get invited to that because of that great onboard cuisine, but in particular the chef's table, which is included in the price. And sometimes if you look at different ocean cruises, some of them include that more elevated specialty dining and other ones don't. And so that's an important difference between some of the different cruise lines. And then another difference is some cruise lines have special dining venues only for their suite and or mini suite guests. So for example, even some of the big ship cruise lines like Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean has something they call the Coastal Kitchen. And it's just for guests who are staying in certain suites.
Interesting.
On the MSC cruise, they have what's called the Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Great food, great service. Beautiful, beautiful setting. Oh my gosh, you're on the bow of the ship and you have wraparound panoramic windows and just gorgeous. And food very much kind of geared towards the American palate on a lot of those cruises. We were on the Queen Elizabeth, and Cunards are very famous for something they call the grills. And the grills are restaurants. They have 2.
Okay.
They have the Queen's Grill for people who are staying in a full suite.
Sure.
And the Princess Grill for folks who are staying in a junior suite.
Okay.
And so that is your exclusive dining venue for, you know, around 150 guests who are in kind of those same levels of staterooms.
Wow.
And I would say they're probably, if not the best, among the very best restaurants at sea.
Wow.
And on the Queen Elizabeth in particular, floor-to-ceiling glass windows. You're on the 11th floor. Alaska.
Right.
I mean, right there, need I
Right.
say more.
Right.
But the food and the service is incredible. You stay at the same table for every
you
meal.
do?
So you have the same
Nice.
waiter. They very much get to know your likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
Just like that. They like special requests.
They like that.
They love special requests.
Interesting.
And they do tableside preparations.
Oh my gosh.
So one night, if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see the maitre d' making crepe Suzette flames and
Wow.
everything, basically from scratch.
Wow.
Chateaubriand, which is a roast beef, duck à l'orange, all sorts of things that are made tableside, and that kind of traditional tableside steak Diane preparation where the show is kind of part of the experience.
That's awesome.
And so it's very, very neat, and you don't get that in most places.
Yeah.
But other ships have specialty dining restaurants. So we should talk about the main dining.
Yeah.
Right, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
usually the main dining room on each ship. And usually they do a great job. I think sometimes they get a little bit of the short end of the stick when people talk about cruising because they just aren't as sexy as some of the other places. But
Yeah.
main dining room's kind of that complimentary included dining.
Mm-hmm.
You can go there and have a great cruise and never go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Completely. Completely.
Yeah, the cruise, I'll give you a quick breather here. The cruise that we went on, the Princess one in Alaska, the main dining room was awesome. We went there a bunch, and then they had a couple other dining rooms that were open to us too, and we weren't
They had like three or four
Yeah,
that are, just
exactly.
depending on the time you're going and things
Exactly.
like that. Yep.
Yeah, the hot tip or the learning moment for us was that you want to get reservations, or you're just going to be waiting potentially until there's an opening. And so once we figured that out, we're like, oh, okay, and you kind of plan around that with your excursions during the day when you come back. But I had some excellent food. I had escargot
Very nice.
one evening
Very nice.
that was amazing. And it's one of those things you don't eat all the time, but when you get it, it's like, ooh, that was really. I forget
I'm amazed
how good that is.
I'm amazed how many people are kind of freaked out by the idea of escargot,
I mean, we should tell what that is.
which is snails.
Yeah, it's snails.
But they're like literally cooked in a pound of butter per snail.
Oh, yeah.
So that much butter on anything, and you're good to go.
You
But
are
they're
good.
actually really, really good. They're I think one of the best pieces of French cuisine you can have, and oftentimes they'll serve them during one of the gala nights or the dress up
Yes.
nights, along with like a steak and lobster or something like that as well. But yeah, escargot are a good cruise ship go-to
Yeah, I was.
go-to option.
Yeah, I asked Shannon. I said, "Do you want to order some?" She's like, "No way." I'm like, "Are you sure you don't want to order some?" So she did, and I accidentally got some of that too.
There you go.
I was really going for it that night.
There you go. But you brought up a good point, which is about kind of the open seating versus the fixed dining times.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, everyone was assigned to a table at a certain time.
Okay.
And oftentimes you dined with other people who you didn't know and maybe didn't want to dine with.
Yeah.
And so most
yeah.
cruise ships have kind of gone towards a sort of a split approach now. They will offer that as an option, a fixed seating time.
Okay.
Same waiter, same table. But usually you can choose if you want to sit table for two, table for four, whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. Or they have the open seating option, which is where you can kind of show up and dine.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
for many of them now, they've added a reservations concept to
Okay.
it. So you can make a reservation for a certain time, or you can just kind of go with the mood and show up
Yeah.
when you want to show up. So there are a lot of choices on that main dining.
I like that.
The main restaurants are also open for breakfast and lunch. Usually they're not super busy, but they're quiet. They're nice. You can have a nice lunch, nice breakfast served to you at your table without having to worry about a crowd in a buffet or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's something that sometimes people don't even realize is an option, but the dining room's always open for breakfast and lunch as well.
Yeah, I found myself gravitating to the Eggs Benedict in the morning.
There you go. There you go.
It was really good. Like that, I think all the cruise ships I've been on, I've done that for breakfast. And Ama had an exceptional Eggs Benny in the morning. And then that Princess cruise that we were on was exceptional as
You ever
well.
had salmon eggs Benedict?
So I have not.
It's good. If you like
I
salmon.
would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would be in for that.
It's a good Alaska dish, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go back to Alaska. That's all there is to it. We just got to figure that out.
Get some baked beans on the side.
I will eat the
on the
baked
side,
beans.
too.
I'll do that.
Yeah. But the other area of dining are the specialty restaurants. And these
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
the steakhouses and the Italian restaurants and the French restaurants and the Asian restaurants that a lot of cruise lines have on board.
Yep.
And on the kind of the big ship cruises and many of the premium cruise lines, there's an additional charge to dine in those. It's usually a relatively modest, they call it a cover charge.
Yep.
And then certain cruise lines also include specialty dining.
Yeah.
And so if you are kind of a foodie and you like the opportunity to try some different restaurants throughout the course of your cruise, some of those cruise lines like Regent Seven Seas and Silver Sea and Oceania, where that specialty dining is included, can be a really, really great option. And so many choices.
Yeah.
I mean, so many choices. It's hard to even put them into words. The when I was in Alaska, Regent has what's called the Pacific Rim restaurant, which is an Asian restaurant, top notch. And I had my main course was teppanyaki lobster.
Oh my gosh!
So it was really good.
Wow,
just really good. And then the desserts, very Asian themed desserts.
Yeah.
I think I had like matcha flavored ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
It was really good.
Wow.
They have a French restaurant on there. They have a steakhouse. And by steakhouse, I mean a steakhouse.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go hungry there. They have what they call the
Hold on,
14
quick time out. Is the steakhouse, you showed me a picture of this, I think it was a ribeye, and it was massive. It was
massive.
Is that the same?
Oh yeah.
The steakhouse? Okay.
The Regent steaks can be massive. Now they have other choices as well.
Wow.
They actually have great seafood. I kind of feel bad, and the next time I go, I'm gonna have to order something besides a steak. But the steak is really, really, really good. But they have a great seafood menu.
Don't feel bad.
They have other steaks as well. They have chicken.
Yeah.
Lots of choices. The French restaurant on Regent Seven Seas has actually an excellent chicken dish.
Really?
Their steak, their filet is really, really good, but their chicken dish is also really, really
Interesting.
nice. But they have a 14-layer chocolate cake.
14.
And it's about that tall.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I held off on having that on the last cruise in the interests of, my waistline. But instead, I had the popcorn sundae.
Oh, what's that?
Well, it was even bigger. I think it was a sundae in a glass that was like this big with a big bowl at the top. And it had ice cream with caramel and like Cracker Jack ice cream on it.
Oh my gosh.
It was really, really, really good,
That's
especially after that big steak. And
amazing.
then I pretty much went to bed.
I was going to say, there's got to be a food coma to follow,
there was
right?
a little bit of a food coma.
Yeah.
And then, that is something I think that sometimes people go on cruises and they're like, oh my God, there's just so much food. But, go to the dining room.
Yep.
Have poached eggs or have some yogurt and cereal and just enjoy the experience.
That's right.
Of it. Maybe have a salad for lunch.
Exactly.
Don't snack during the day, and you can really enjoy a nice meal on board. So people kind of come up with different strategies to manage that, especially if you're on a longer cruise. You really can't eat everything that's offered to you, or you're not going to. You'll have to buy an expanded pair of pants before you get off the ship. Take the belt and throw it away.
I know. I was just thinking about the food on the cruises when we were doing our river cruises on the Rhine and Danube, and I remember eating a fair amount. But I also remember, we were kind of into all the excursions, and we were kind of walking, and and the weirdest thing, I felt like I ate like a king, and then I came back and I was jumped on the scale.
You're like, sweet.
What? Check, please. This is great. I'm going to do this again. And I think it's just a matter of the foods, I think the food is, a lot of it's from scratch. It's very healthy things over in Europe, right? And all good. And then you're just moving a whole bunch. I mean, the number of steps that I get in, and this is just me personally, I like just plowing around. We're getting in, a lot.
Yeah, well, the day we went to the steakhouse, we did a 5-mile hike.
Oh,
did we talk about it, the 5-mile hike that was uphill and never came downhill? So, it was totally justified.
This is the 5-mile hike. When Ted came back, he goes, and it was like this, and then on the way down, it was like this. It wasn't really down.
But it was 5 miles.
It was 5 miles.
It was 5 miles. And, it is interesting because, most cruise ships have either a promenade deck that has a full walk around, or do they have kind of a walking track? And those are really popular.
That's true.
A lot of people do go for walks and things like that just to, keep in a sort of some more healthy routine than just sitting and eating the whole time. But you could.
I was surprised how much activity on our Princess cruise that there was.
Oh, yeah.
They had the main, it's not a lobby. What do you call that? The huge
atrium.
The atrium that you walk into, and it's it's just awesome.
It's huge.
And I was surprised how many dance things and just activities and aerobics and yoga and other things they did Next time I cruise on a bigger ship like that, I'm going to do more of that because I want to get moving and grooving a little bit more. I think
and cruise ships have gyms, and a lot of them are very, top-notch gyms, and they have fitness classes, and there's just so much that you can do between meals, including get off the ship and go on shore and explore a little bit on shore.
Well, and when you're moving and grooving, then you can have more food and be more, get more foodie.
Exactly.
It's all about more food, folks.
Yeah. But it's also, I think about the destination and the destination coming on board. And, in Alaska, on the last cruise I was on, they had some Alaskan dishes.
Yeah, tell me about that.
And it was interesting, too, because they had Alaskan salmon. And when I was on the same cruise line leaving from England, they had Scottish salmon.
Really?
Yeah. And the one thing they did that was actually really neat is they had some cocktails and beers that were Alaskan.
Yep.
And so there is a brewery in Haines that makes beer, and normally you can only get it in a growler.
Okay.
Well, they made a specially bottled series of an IPA, a lager, and a spruce tip ale for Cunard line.
Ale.
So spruce tip
What does
ale,
that even mean?
they take the end of a spruce tree, they snip it off, they boil it, and that's what the beer is based on. So it's very good. It's kind of got a little bit of I would say just a slight purplish tinge to it. Almost, it has a slight root beer taste to it, but it's very, very good. And then they had actually some Alaskan spirits, gin, vodka, some other things that were made in Alaska, like juniper berries and things like that.
Yeah.
And they had such imaginative cocktails you could order. And one of them actually came with a piece of salmon jerky. So you'd have the salmon jerky.
And does it look like traditional jerky? It's just salmon?
Looks like traditional jerky.
Wow.
Yep.
That sounds really
and
good.
it's on a skewer in your cocktail.
Oh, my gosh.
They had another one that they brought a little bit of a little cracker with some crab salad to go with the cocktail.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
very imaginative things.
I love that.
In Europe, you might have an Oktoberfest type event or something. So a lot of cruise lines, they bring the world on board where they're sailing, and that's part of the experience as well. Now, you might also have like Italian night in Alaska or something like that. But they do, I think, a lot of the cruise lines, by bringing that on board, make the experience special.
So I'm going to chime in just real quick. When you said the German night, I forgot. We had one of those on, I think it was Avalon, and it was in Germany, and it was awesome. Like, they were in the Lederhosen. They had the thing, the thing, and it was so much fun. And I had my big old, because I'm a beer guy, I had a big old stein of beer, and
local beer, right?
Yes,
Local beer, it wasn't Budweiser.
And then the sausages and the pretzels, and then the food that night for the main course was all German, and it was like, this is awesome.
And here I am in Germany.
On the ship, enjoying this huge. It was awesome.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about some of the Michelin star chefs. Who now hook up with the different cruise lines. Thomas Keller, French Laundry fame, has restaurants on cruise ships. Michel Roux from Le Gavroche in London has onboard restaurants. So, there is everything from extremely elevated Michelin star quality cuisine to, flavors and varieties of your destination. And the neat thing is that, every cruise ship has something interesting, fun, and unique about their dining experience.
Yeah.
And it's great to go to the destinations. It's great to see them. But it's also nice to kind of come back on board your ship or on your river cruise boat and just be able to enjoy kind of a little bit of a familiar environment and know that, the food's going to be of high quality. You're going to be able to get what you want. You're not going to have to go to a restaurant and try to decipher the menu. Right. It is kind of makes the experience, I think, a little less stressful than maybe exploring some places on your own. And of course, there's plenty of time when you're in a port to go off and have lunch or dinner in a restaurant as well. Or check out the local pub.
Yeah, well, I did both in Alaska. I forget where we were at Sitka or Juneau or wherever it was. And got off, and there was just this little vendor with his Alaska crab legs deal. And I'm like, hello.
Sitka in Alaska actually has kind of a food truck.
Maybe it was Sitka.
Yeah, they have like a food truck parking lot right by where the shuttle from the cruise ships drop you off. And one place apparently has the best crab legs. They probably caught them this morning.
That was
very fresh.
Yeah, I think so, because when I had them, I'm like, oh, these are so good. It just melt in your mouth, the butter, the whole deal. It was just
Yeah, Icy Strait Point, which is another place in Alaska.
Yeah.
They have a crab shack on the in an old cannery. They used to have a salmon cannery there, and they have crab. You get it. It's very rustic. You get it in a plate with some paper towels, but they have a big crock pot sitting there that's just full of butter. So you just go and I need a little more. So if you like butter with your crab, Icy Strait Point is a good place.
My goodness.
To go.
I don't even know if we should mention this, but at Lake Lucerne, in Lucerne, that Italian place, that was one of my favorites.
Italian place, the fondue restaurant there too.
Somebody from Australia, I think, pinged us about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And dining ashore is
crazy.
also part of the cruise dining experience. And again, I think that's what really makes cruising such a great option is the mix of all the different options and having the choice.
Yeah.
Because there are some nights I just want a hamburger, a beer, and I want to take a nap.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get dressed for dinner, and I just want to have it. I want to have room service.
Yep.
Or something like that. And a lot of times that's available included, or maybe there's a nominal cost for it. But the choice is yours. You're kind of in control of that dining experience to make it anything you want to.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes that a real key, neat part of the cruising experience, and kind of a good thing for us to talk about right before lunch. And we have to.
Thank goodness I just had lunch before I came.
We didn't even talk about the French fries on AmaWaterways.
Oh my gosh!
Best
right?
French fries in the world.
Yeah.
So
Shout
I think
out.
we better
Shout
stop
out,
because I'm getting a little too hungry now.
Yeah, we got to get you over to Agave or something.
There we go.
Grab some food.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ted, for joining us as always on TED Talks Travel. Great to have you on board. This was a fun one. I feel like we could have gone for like another, 30, 40, 50 minutes or more.
We probably could have.
We had a couple of foodies over here. I'm Ken Conan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at it next week. See you next time.